internet of value at Ripple, we're thinking much bigger than just cross-border payments. It's kind of like Amazon with rare books in the early days, just this market happens to be a $10 trillion market.
We are at a historic turning point.
Said in the past that you are doing for money what email did for communication.
Moving the whole revolution forward.
Take on it.
There's trillions of dollars parked around the world.
XRP.
Is there a possibility that Ripple could take over Swift one day?
Well,
welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Turf Fire Script. Let's get right into today's video. Do you guys remember that video by Garlinghouse when he was asked about stablecoins and if they were doing anything about it? Here's a refresher.
But when are you going to move into stablecoins?
yes.
When?
Yes. Look, I think the stablecoin market is fascinating. Will we do or say more than that? Not today.
In today's video, I'm going to go ahead and tell you exactly why he didn't answer that question. It involves BlackRock. It involves the DTCC and a lot of money. Welcome back to another episode. Do you guys remember this man right here?
I've always been deeply opposed to crypto, Bitcoin, etc. You pointed out the only true use case for it is criminals, drug traffickers, anti-money laundering, tax avoidance, and that is a use case. If I was the government, I'd close it down.
The one calling Bitcoin fraud, only criminals use it. Well, take a look at this. BlackRock did an amendment to their Form S1 registration for the whole Bitcoin ETF, and they listed under authorized participants JP Morgan Securities, so they are allowed to participate in this. This is absolutely crazy. Do you see how they just spread FUD through the media and now they're about to go in and start buying Bitcoin? Absolutely crazy. Take a look at this. So back on April 12th, 2022, BlackRock invested in Circle to explore USDC for capital markets. And we know XRP, Circle, Ripple, they're all correlated together. Listen to this part right here. Circle has previously stated that it intends to become a bank, and if it were to be involved in large-scale transactions with BlackRock, it's far more likely it would need to have a Federal Reserve account. And we're going to tie in ESCROW, the Federal Reserve, and a third party. You gotta see this. I can't believe this is all out there and people are missing this. The same day, April 12th, 2022, the DTCC also came out and they said they're building industry's first prototype to support digital US currency in the clearing and settlement process as a part of digital dollar project effort. And then a couple months down the road, they concluded the test on November 30th, and they came out and shared some of their findings. And this is so crazy to me that people aren't reading this. Multilateral settlement and asset encumbrance mechanisms are core functional requirements for post-trade settlement. Broader access to digital Federal Reserve payment systems could present new opportunities within the settlement bank model and drive innovation in traditional industry responsibilities. This is so crazy to me. Look at this part. The Digital Dollar Project and support from Accenture. Okay, if you guys remember, Accenture and Ripple have been a partner for a very long time, since 2015. That's when they signed with Accenture. And the Digital Dollar Project right here, this white paper which we're going to get into, it is backed by Accenture and the Digital Dollar Project. And take a look at this. This is back on August 31st when they launched their sandbox and Ripple is involved. So now we have the DTCC, Ripple involved and working together through the Digital Dollar Foundation. This part really stuck out to me because they said that they identified several technology questions that will require further thought. So this is where they had trouble. Scalability and performance. Future exploration into performance requirements and scalability capabilities would provide greater insights into network impacts and technology requirements. Network interoperability and standards. Further exploration is required to understand how various DLT networks would harmonize a fragment data or liquidity. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and smash that like button. Some of you guys are going to understand this and just absolutely just go crazy. And some of you, it's just going to fly over you like a Boeing 747. Participant integration requirements. Additional work to understand the requirements more fully for participants to integrate with the CBDC network and DTCC's digital settlement network is needed. And under maintaining a trusted third party to satisfy settlement. Listen to this. To ensure settlement on both networks and continue to utilize the efficiencies offered by central counterparty clearing, the team identified that there remained a need to have neutral third party to manage the risk of a communication failure when trades are being executed. The third party is privy to transaction on both the CBDC network and DTCC's digital settlement network to resolve any disputes on transfer across networks. While the third party does not necessarily need to be the Federal Reserve or the DTCC to manage settlement finality, for the purposes of this pilot, the DTCC was the trusted third party. Wow, this is crazy. You guys can go ahead and pause it and read it for yourselves, but that is huge. Like I said, if you don't get how big this part is, go ahead and let me know in the comments down below you don't understand it, and we'll help you out, okay? Are you ready for this? Are you ready for what we're about to show you here? The pilot implemented two-phase commits. By encumbering tokens and preventing them from being spent, and by putting conditions on their release for use by the receiving party. Remember, in the fundamental valuation for XRP, they said that banks are going to be holding on to XRP. It could be for days or it could be for weeks, and they're going to have release dates. This is like an escrow model. They're referring to an escrow model, but in this case, the smart contract, rather than a third party, controls access to the assets.
While today we are discussing the interoperability of assets.
Its inherent interoperability can allow for connection with other central bank ledgers for efficient cross-asset and cross-border transactions.
It must ensure interoperability between assets and the contracts to trade them.
For efficient cross-asset and cross-border transactions. This can be done with cross-issuance using XRP as a bridge currency or via cross-ledger communication protocols. This reduces the risk that institutions are forced to accept when transacting across multiple networks or currencies in the current system.
That is so big, and that is why Ripple has their escrow. So the escrow is being eyed by the DTCC, the IMF, the WEF, to really provide financial stability in the next infrastructure that they're rolling out here. And to put the icing on the cake, in March of this year, there's a fintech meetup happening, and this is a pretty big deal. If you take a look at it, we have Nadine Chakar here, global head of DTCC Digital Assets. And remember what she said about how much of the world's value is going to be tokenized?
When you look at all the other assets in the world, depending on whose report you read, it varies between 300 trillion and 700 trillion. It is my firm belief that everything can be tokenized. So it's not just big, it's huge. Lawrence, my guess will be someday everything will be tokenized, and we won't stop until that day comes. So
that is a monumental amount of value that is going to be tokenized. And remember what this individual said right here in regards to once in a lifetime opportunity.
Every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every bottle of fine wine, every collectible car, every piece of real estate, every private business, everything of value in the world will eventually be a token. You don't need the pieces of paper. Wipe out all of DTCC, which processes $1.8 quadrillion a year. That is a large number. That will all move to digital. And when it does, it will create massive wealth, the greatest wealth creation opportunity I'm going to see in my lifetime. Every stock, every bond, every currency.
And only 1% is going to benefit off of this wealth transfer. And then we also have, alongside the DTCC, Ripple involved here, Robert Grant, global head of public policy involved here. And there's some big names here as well that are all meeting up in March 2024. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. The writing's on the wall. We have BlackRock, USDC, DTCC, Ripple, through the Digital Dollar Project and through Accenture. And soon, people are going to regret not buying XRP under $1. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back with another video.
We started building RippleNet with the thesis that crypto liquidity would eventually be able to support robust global payments, large payments. RippleNet was designed so that customers seeing the benefits of our fiat-based network could flip the switch to ODL once the market was mature enough. And this is exactly what's happening. Flip the switch.
I think what we're building has, it's solving a real problem. And I think all of the tokens, my advice to anybody would be, understand the utility. If there's real utility and there's real value being delivered to a real customer, there will be value in the token.